Hi there, my name's Andy. This is our Hymer ML-T580. I'm very happy with it. The only problem has been that it's a bit low at the back, and we poured it on the ground a couple of times. So as you've seen in the previous video, we've managed to jack it up a few inches to try and solve that problem. But in addition to that, if it does ever hit the ground in exceptional circumstances again now, I've made another modification to try and protect the rather flimsy GRP fiberglass underbelly that goes round the rear freshwater tank. I've made the guard out of this aluminium checker plate, and I chose to buy 2mm thickness as it's a bit stronger than the 1.5mm checker plate. And I just went on the internet, bought it from Checker Plate Direct, and I think the bits cost about £55 or something like that. We were very lucky that the damage that was sustained was pretty minor really, and I just got some Araldite epoxy resin and I've put it in the crack, and it's all filled up, and it's all as strong as ever before. This is the water tank behind here, and you can see it hangs down about 4 inches, makes it a bit low to the ground. What has happened is that coming off of a ferry, on the ramp there, this little strap here caught underneath on the ground, and then it pulled it backwards, and it cracked some of the fiberglass here, and you can see it's only held on by a couple of self-tapping screws either side, so it's not really that sturdy. I'm hoping that it's never going to touch the ground anymore now that we've had the vehicle raised up, but if it does, then the checker plate is going to provide a bit more protection for this fiberglass than before. Now what I've done is I bought one piece of checker plate, which sheet was about 1 meter wide and about 30 centimeters deep. I just sawed that down to make it 62 centimeters wide, and so that panel sits under here and protects the underbelly. Then I've bought the angle plate here, which is, I think it's 50mm angle, and I've made a few sections of that to protect the corners. Now the problem is that this strap here was so flimsy that was what was actually caused the damage in the end. So to install all this checker plate, I've had to loosen the bolts off up here, and it's best to drain all your water out so that it's not loaded with weight inside it, and then you can slip these bits of checker plate underneath. But I've got a blind riveting set, and I've put rivets in that bit there and in that bit there up the other end, and then these rivets stop this angle being pulled out. It's riveted to the underbelly bit here, and then I've riveted it on 1, 2, 3 rivets there, so that even if this strap does catch the ground now, hopefully, unless it gets really extreme force on it, it's not going to get levered back into the fiberglass that's underneath here. And you can see that that's got 2 layers of checker plate here. It's got the flat base, and then it's got the corner bit as well, so it's got some pretty solid protection there, which I'm sure it won't protect it against anything, but hopefully if I get a minor knock, then it will give it some protection. I put this corner bit on as well, and that will just hopefully, if it gets forced upwards by anything, then maybe that'll stop the whole thing bending upwards too much. Well, it only took me a couple of hours to put it together. Just need a few spanners, hacksaw, file, and drill, and then the riveting equipment, and it was all done. It all looks pretty solid to me, but obviously the proof is going to be in the pudding if it ever grounds out again. Anyway, if it does, you'll be first to hear about it on this channel, but I think I'm going to be alright this time, and I'd certainly recommend anybody who's got a rear-wheel drive Hymer ML-T580 to put some protection on the back here, just to avoid any accidents in the future. Thanks very much for watching.